Yes, people, so if you've been following along to the Gaining Traction YouTube channel in the last couple of weeks, you'll know that we reviewed a stock M140i, and our opinion was it was a little bit numb and not so much of a hot hatch. Now, we had quite a few people, M-Lite fanboys, B58 fanboys, getting onto us in the comments and the DMs telling us that we need to review a modified M140 or M-Lite. So today, we've answered that, and we've got this heavily modified M140i, and we're about to get active. First, I'll give you a quick walk around and tell you exactly what's been done to the car, and I'll leave a full mod list in the description below. Okay, so starting with one of the most important modifications that you can do to any M-Lite, it is suspension. So this is running Bilstein B8 shocks and some Eibach lowering springs. It's also got some M3, M4 shortened arms. The rear end is fully polybushed, including the diff mount. And all important modification when you've got an M-Lite is LSD. So this is running the QUAIFE LSD, which hopefully should give it a lot more feeling from the rear end. It's also running a stage 2 DRW map. It's switchable maps. It's got 4 different maps with rolling launch control, and it's also got a stage 3 gearbox map as well. So as you can see, it's quite heavily modified, and we're about to get active. So let's get out. So we're away. Modified M140i time. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm still skeptical. Like, we had our opinions on the 140 or M-Lites in general, and it's gonna take a lot to overcome that, if I'm being completely honest. Now, me and Wiggy are both modern car haters in a way. Like, we can appreciate them, but we love the feel of the older cars and what they give you when you drive it. So I think it's going to be hard for me to sway the other way. So if I do sway the other way today, you know that this car is serious. So let's get into it. Obviously, we're going to have to get some heat into the tyres. It's a cold day, it's wet. It's got decent tyres on. I think we're on PS5s on the front, and I think it's asymmetric 6 on the back. So fairly decent tyres, but still going to get some heat into them. I feel like with this sort of power, so it's running stage 2 DRW Performance, and I think it's about 470 brake, which is crazy power. Like, you don't need more than that on the road. Absolutely crazy power. Obviously, people are building these 1,000 brake cars, like we say all the time, which that's just numbers for the gram and for socials. Like, realistically, for UK roads, back roads, obviously if you're going to be jumping on the motorway doing straight line pulls, if you're a straight line warrior, each to their own, then you're going to want more power, fair enough. But 500 brake is more than enough for a UK back road. If you can't already tell, I'm wrote off today as well with a cold, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to jump out in this car and see whether it can finally sway my opinion. Still, to me, at the minute, it feels just like a daily cruiser. I'm yet to see whether these modifications have woken it up. But let's put it in Sport Plus and see whether we can get some heat into these tyres. Crack the window a little bit. See, Sports Plus, you hear the crackles start. Straight away, you feel how much quick. We were saying with the stock car how quick the torque pulls it through the gears, and you know, you can pretty much plant the throttle from any speed, and you're gonna be moving. Whereas this is just like another level. Like, it feels like warp speed. Crazy. Feel it twitching already. Yeah, the way it gets from corner to corner is absolutely crazy. Like it's I don't know how to explain it. It feels like it puts the power down nicer than the M cars that we drove, if I'm being honest. Oh, we've got a marathon going on. It's not looking good, bruv. Roads are closed.
What the hell's going on around here?
Street's closed, pizza boy. Find another way home.
Goddamn street racer.
What I will say is steering feel hasn't improved with these modifications. Now, I can feel the back end way more, so as soon as you feel it start to twitch and step, you're already moving towards correcting it. But in terms of the front end feel, from what I've, you know, that short burst that I've just drove it, still not getting much front end feel. It still feels a little bit like I'm guessing where the front wheels are, which obviously for this type of driving, that's not what you want. You want to be able to feel the front end and use the back end to take the corners, if that makes sense. So you always want to know where your front end is, and at the minute I'm not getting that confidence from this. Yeah, straight line this car's crazy. Like, you don't need more. You don't need more than this in a straight line. You can see that obviously wet day. We're in MDM, so we're not completely irresponsible today. But straight away it just lights up the rear tires. Like, as soon as you put, that was like 50% throttle if that, and the rear tires are just spinning. Now, they're still pretty cold, so we'll attribute it to that. But as a daily, I like it, if I'm being completely honest. I definitely like it more than the stock car. Obviously, you're going to say more power, faster gear changes, you're going to enjoy it. But the feeling that it gives me, I'm way more confident in this car than in the stock car, because the stock car just gave you no real warning when it was going to slip out, or, you know, you couldn't really feel it slipping out. So this is a welcome surprise, to be honest. Right, I think we should see what the rolling launch is saying. Let's give it a go. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. The way it picks up speed is just, it's next level. Now, that's one thing that older cars don't give you. Like, obviously you can modify them and modify them and modify them, but these new cars with all the technology, it does just feel responsive. If you can hear that vibrating as well, there is a little bit of an issue with the steering rack, so that's why I don't think that's going to affect steering feel, but it's just a little bit vibrating. Don't know if the mic's going to pick that up or not. The way you can just switch between all or nothing in these modern cars, I think is what separates them from the older cars. Like, now I can just stick it in eco, everything softens up, the throttle response softens up, and it's quiet. You can just cruise around to and from work, and then when you want to switch it on, you can switch it on. Whereas, like, for example, my E36, you can't do that. Like, it's on all the time. Whereas this, you can switch it off, which I do like, obviously, from a daily aspect. Now, the main thing that we're trying to find out today is, have these modifications affected the way the car feels? And now, from that short burst that I just drove it, I would have to argue, yeah, they have made a big difference, because as much as the steering feel lets it down, it's not to the detriment of the whole experience when you're driving the car. Yeah, diving into corners, you definitely get more feeling. You feel the rear end a lot more, which obviously you attribute to coilovers. You know, you're gonna feel the road more. I think the poly bushing on the rear end has made a massive difference, because you get way more feel from the rear end. And then obviously the LSD, it doesn't make a massive difference in terms of feel, but what it does is gives you predictability. You can't drive a car at any sort of pace if you can't predict what it's going to do. Whereas this, you know what it's going to do, so it gives you that confidence to really throw it into corners. The way it covers ground is absolutely insane. I'm impressed. I am impressed. That's all I can say. Yeah. It does move around a little bit under acceleration. Obviously it is wet, but you can feel the front end and the rear end switching a little bit, like it feels like it's moving a little bit under acceleration, but not to the point where it gives you any issues really. If you commit to it, keep your foot in, just make a few slight corrections, it responds pretty well. So, eagle-eyed viewers will notice that we're no longer in the M140i. Just got home from filming, started piecing the video together, and realised that when doing this YouTube, nothing ever goes right, does it? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So, a big portion of the video that I filmed earlier on that Stage 2 M140i, for some reason, didn't record. So basically, I'm just going to summarise as briefly as possible exactly what my opinion was on that 140i. So, funnily enough, in that segment of driving, I actually decided that the hotter the tyres was getting and the more I was leaning on the car, I was actually getting a little bit more feel from the steering than I originally first thought. The more you was leaning on it, the more you was pushing, the steering felt slightly weightier. So that's something to bear in mind. The main thing that was missed out in that video was, if you're looking to modify your M140i, do them modifications on that car make a difference? So I would have to say, yeah, they make a massive difference. Now, the LSD is more for predictability than feeling. Now, I said it earlier on in the video, you can't drive a car and lean on it without predictability. So that needs to be number one. Then, coilovers, springs, shocks, they're a vital component in order to get that feeling of connection to the road when driving. So I do think those two modifications are probably the most important. All the rear end was polybushed, and had the front arms, shortened front arms, the M3 arms, which realistically, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I felt the arms that much. Now, that's probably on my part. I don't really know what I was trying to feel from that. All I could go off was steering. It did feel sharp, it did feel precise, but like I say, it did lack a little bit of feel. The fact that the rear end was polybushed, I do believe is a massive thing as well. So if you're in the market for a 140 or any M Light, and you're wondering, is it worthwhile buying if your sole purpose of buying the car is to buy a hot hatch and not just a daily, then you have to modify it, because in stock form, you're going to be disappointed like I was. Obviously, after them modifications have been added, it's a completely different car. So it then has that switchability of going from a car that you can drive every day. It gets good miles per gallon, you know. The owner of that car was actually telling me on a long run he was achieving 50 miles per gallon, no problem. So you've got the mixture of good miles per gallon, reliability, drivability in all weathers, comfort, but then you're able to switch into that mode of, you know, aggressive driving and being able to lean on the car a little bit more and get that feeling. Is it the same as an older car? No, definitely not. But in terms of modern cars, I would definitely have to say it's probably one of the best modern cars I've driven for an all-around package, because it's reliable, it's fairly priced, the performance gains that you can get from them are absolutely silly, and it's still enjoyable on a B road with the right modifications. So if you're in the market for one, or you're wondering if you should modify your own car, I would definitely say it has to be done. But yeah, apologies for the mix-up. We're going to have to revise how we're filming these videos, because there's been a couple of times where microphones and cameras have messed up. So there you have it. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop a like, drop a comment if you agree with the final opinion on this B58 powered M140i, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure you drop a sub, because we've got plenty more content like this coming in the next couple of weeks. So for now, we're signing off.